The movie begins with Seiji, a little girl with an unusual gift. She is never shy about confessing her feelings to handsome boys. When she develops a crush on a classmate, she tells him right away. To her surprise and joy, he admits that he likes her too, and Seiji bursts into tears of happiness. But fate is cruel. The very next day, the boy suddenly transfers to another school, leaving her heartbroken. As the years pass, Seiji changes. Her hair no longer stays straight the way it once did, unlike her twin sister, Hyeji. She begins to wonder if this difference is the result of inheriting her father's jealousy. Later, she secretly falls for a neighbor boy and even prepares a gift for him. On the day she gathers the courage to confess, the boy comes knocking at her door, but he asks to see Hyeji, not her. That bitter experience makes Seiji promise herself that she will never confess again. That promise is shattered when she meets Hayun by the beach. With a body as graceful as the waves, he captures her heart instantly. The next day, Hayun appears at school, drawing admiration from everyone. But to everyone's shock, he waves at Seiji, leaving her frozen while her friends stare in curiosity. Embarrassed, she explains that she happened to meet him on the beach the day before. In class, Seiji sees the mock exam rankings and notices Hayun among the top 100, which grants him entry to the evening self-study room. Rumors say that confessing in that room almost guarantees success, but Seiji despairs. Her grades are far too low to qualify. During recess, she and her friends watch Hayun play basketball. Surrounded by admiring girls, Seiji decides to stand out. She buys him a drink, writes her name on it, and asks the canteen owner to deliver it, but the owner already knows who it is for. Many girls had made the same request that day. Outside, Seiji meets her curly-haired friend, who is also holding a water bottle for Hayun. After school, Seiji returns to the beach, hoping Hayun will appear again. She waits in the sea, but instead, another boy shows up. He picks up her fallen name tag, and when her shirt drifts into the water, he reaches for it but falls in. He cannot swim, and Seiji rushes to save him. She drags him ashore and leans down to give him CPR, but before her lips touch his, he suddenly wakes up. Furious and embarrassed, Seiji scolds him harshly. Yet deep down, she is relieved that he is safe. The very next day, that same boy, Ziyak, transfers into Seiji's school and class. His leg is in a cast from the incident, and the two immediately recognize each other. The teacher introduces him, revealing that Ziyak is older. He had once taken the university entrance exam, failed, and now has to return to school. Seiji greets him warmly, but he keeps a cold expression and says little. The following morning, Seiji sees him struggling with his cast and insists on helping, though he refuses. The supervisor scolds another student, Jae-young, for standing idle and orders him to help instead. Later, Seiji is scolded for not wearing her name tag. She lies, saying it must have disappeared, though in truth, it is still with Ziyak, who has not returned it. At lunch, Seiji and her friends bring food for Ziyak, surprising him with their kindness. When others ask if Seiji really saved him at the beach, Ziyak stays silent, but Seiji jumps in proudly and claims credit. Laughing, she even says he now owes her favors. He should hold her umbrella, bring her food, and buy them ice cream. Ziyak cannot refuse. Later, her friends make her a new name tag. Ziyak almost returns the original, but when he overhears someone saying, "Maybe the one who took your name tag did it because they like you," he quietly pulls his hand back. Meanwhile, Seiji insists once again that her heart belongs only to Hayun. "I like him. There's no room for anyone else," she declares. Just as she finishes speaking, a ball suddenly flies toward her. It nearly strikes her, but it is kicked back at the last moment. Standing there is Hayun, walking directly toward her. After Hayun accidentally hits Seiji with the ball, he quickly apologizes and shows concern while Seiji lowers her gaze, shy and flustered. Her friends immediately tease that he must have done it on purpose just to find the chance to talk to her. Ziyak, however, does not see it that way at all. Back in class, Seiji's close friends reveal that In-chung's hair has somehow become perfectly straight again. Shocked, Seiji rushes to the next classroom to see for herself. It is true, and it is something she has always dreamed of. When she asks, she discovers that In-chung had her hair straightened at Jongmi's salon for an expensive price of 200,000 won. Curiosity and hope drive Seiji and her friends to visit the salon. Even though Seiji's hair is naturally very curly, the shop owner assures her it can be transformed. Returning home, Seiji gathers all the money she has saved, but the amount is nowhere near enough for the treatment. Heartbroken, she goes back to the salon just to look when she suddenly overhears Ziyak addressing the owner as Mom. An outrageous idea forms in her mind. The next day, Seiji begins treating Ziyak with unusual warmth, greeting him far more cheerfully than before. After school, she pretends to bump into him right outside the salon and casually asks what he is doing there. Ziyak reveals that the salon belongs to his mother. Without hesitation, Seiji runs inside, introducing herself as his close friend and even reminding his mother that she once saved his life at the beach. She promises to look after him at school and, in return, hints at wanting her hair straightened. Ziyak's mother smiles and agrees, but only once his cast comes off. From then on, Seiji involves herself fully in Ziyak's daily life. She walks him to class, helps him during lessons, and makes sure he gets home safely. She even assists his mother in handing out flyers to promote the salon's reopening. One rainy afternoon, Seiji leads Ziyak to her father's warehouse for shelter and lends him her father's clothes. Inside are stacks of her comic books. When she asks if he likes reading, Ziyak admits that he never has, which surprises her. She eagerly picks out her favorites for him and even gives him the lock's password so he can come anytime. At the same time, Seiji and her friends begin folding origami beads to prepare for her confession to Hayun. They hear that Miji, her rival, is folding 1,000 beads, so they set their sights on 10,000. When Ziyak overhears her plan, he tries to slip away quietly, but Seiji stops him, insisting that his role is too important. He has to help straighten her hair before the big day. Reluctantly, he stays and folds beads with her. Later, Seiji begs a classmate to swap seats with her in the evening self-study room, believing it is the perfect place to confess to Hayun. He refuses, fearing it will hurt his academic performance. Growing frustrated, he snaps at her. He asks if she really thinks confessing there will make Hayun like her, and says that Hayun is not blind. He tells her she does not stand a chance, and that she is wasting her time. His harsh words crush her spirit. That evening, Seiji walks to Ziyak's house in tears. She leaves the jar of origami beads with him, then turns away and leaves quietly. Later, when she returns to her father's warehouse, she finds the door unlocked. Inside, Ziyak is sitting and reading comics, still clinging to her dream. Seiji says she will confess to Hayun only once her hair is straight, believing that is the only way he would ever like her. Ziyak then pulls out a jar filled with origami beads that he has been secretly folding for her over the past few days. Seiji is stunned when he asks what these beads truly mean. She replies softly that they hold the feelings of her friends, and everyone who supported her. Even if Hayun rejects her, she says she will keep the jar as a memory of the time they shared together. The following day, Seiji arrives at Ziyak's house to take him to school, only to find his leg already free from its cast. She is thrilled. His mother reminds her of her promise that once he healed, she could finally straighten her hair. Seiji smiles but decides to wait until the day before her planned confession to Hayun. At school, students gather around the results of the latest mock exam. To everyone's surprise, Ziyak's name appears among the top ranks. He has worked tirelessly, knowing that Seiji needed someone to secure a place in the evening self-study room. When Ziyak offers to trade seats so Seiji can enter the self-study room and fulfill her wish to confess, her heart lights up for the first time. Before she can celebrate, however, another piece of unexpected news reaches her. Word spreads that Hayun, the boy she adores, has failed the exam. It feels as if fate is once again playing with her life. One day, a neighbor visits Seiji's house and speaks with her mother about Jungmi's family, the owners of the hair salon. They say Jungmi's son, Ziyak, is one of the brightest students in school and that his father is a professor at a prestigious university hospital. Seiji's mother wonders why such an accomplished family would be forced to move there. The neighbor explains the painful truth. Ziyak's father is consumed by jealousy and often mistreats his wife, turning his frustrations onto his son. The boy was left wounded, isolated, and forced to skip school and exams. Seiji, sitting nearby, overhears everything and her heart aches. That evening, passing by her father's warehouse, Seiji notices the light is on. Inside, she sees her father sharing instant noodles with Ziyak. Her father even hands him a disposable camera, saying there are many more inside and that he can use them whenever he likes. The next morning at school, Seiji notices a poster announcing the upcoming picnic. Immediately, she imagines it as the perfect chance to confess to Hayun. While she and her friends excitedly discuss their plan, Hayun walks by. As always, he waves at Seiji, and once again, her heart flutters. During gym class, everyone pairs up for a handball game. A girl quickly partners with Hyun, leaving Seiji to team up with Ziyak. The game grows intense. Hyun aggressively targets the opposing team, and Seiji nearly gets hit several times, but Ziyak repeatedly shields her from the ball. Then, in a reckless moment driven by love, Seiji throws herself in front of the ball to protect Hyun. The act leaves Ziyak deeply disappointed. That evening, Seiji receives a voice message from Hyun thanking her for protecting him during the game. She is overjoyed. Moments later, another message arrives, this time from Ziyak. His voice is filled with concern. He asks if she is in pain, scolds himself for leaving her behind, and tells her not to be stubborn, advising her to buy ointment so she can heal faster. Seiji listens to both messages, her emotions swirling. One fills her with giddy excitement, while the other brings warmth and confusion. Later, she visits the salon, where Ziyak's mother asks her to help wash his hair. Both feel awkward due to the closeness of the moment. When Ziyak accidentally applies conditioner before shampoo, his mother frowns in confusion. He has never made such a mistake before. Realizing what he has done, Ziyak quickly excuses himself. Seiji begins to suspect his true feelings. The day of the school picnic arrives. As the bus fills with students, Seiji steps on board with straight, glossy hair that stuns everyone. Sitting quietly in the back, Ziyak watches her, his expression dark. At the picnic site, Seiji carefully places her jar of paper beads on Hyun's seat. That night, the group decorates a special spot for her confession. Guided by arrows, Hyun arrives, surprised to find only Seiji waiting there. He compliments her straight hair, admires the jar of beads, and thanks her again for saving him during the game. Then Hyun mentions the day at the beach, saying that only the two of them knew about it. Seiji freezes. She realizes that he does not know Ziyak was there too. At that moment, she sees Ziyak quietly turning away to leave. Her heart tightens, and clarity finally washes over her. Looking at Hyun, Seiji confesses that she likes him very much and brought him there to tell him her feelings. However, just as she was about to speak, she could not stop thinking about someone else. She explains that she believed she needed to change herself to be liked, to become beautiful in someone else's eyes. But when she is with that person, she never feels the need to change. She can simply be herself. The person she is talking about is none other than Ziyak. Seiji returns to the group. Her friends eagerly ask whether her confession succeeded, but she does not answer. Instead, her eyes quietly follow Ziyak. The next day, Ziyak, unaware of what truly happened, avoids Seiji at every turn. That night, he notices the light glowing inside the warehouse. He hesitates outside, torn by his emotions, before finally stepping in, knowing Seiji will be there. Inside, Seiji has quietly prepared new books for him. They sit together in silence, neither daring to speak. Finally, Seiji softly asks if he is not curious about what happened at the confession. She admits that she never confessed to Hyun. Shocked, Ziyak asks why. Seiji smiles faintly and says she wants to focus on studying and asks him not to tell the others because she does not want to disappoint them. She adds that when the university entrance exam arrives, he should buy her a big candy, hoping it might bring her luck. The next day at school, Seiji feels a pang of jealousy when she sees Ziyak chatting with her curly-haired friend. That night, Ziyak's mother notices a huge gift sitting on the sofa. When she asks about it, Ziyak explains that Seiji asked him to buy a very large candy. He then tells his mother that he plans to take the university entrance exam the following year. Shocked, she reminds him that he once said he would rather die than take it. Soon after, Ziyak visits Seiji's house and delivers the oversized candy. As he turns to leave, Seiji stops him and asks if he is close to the curly-haired girl. Without hesitation, he assures her that he is not. Wishing her luck on her exam, he leaves. The day of the entrance exam arrives. Among the well-wishers, Seiji receives a surprise when a cheerful bear mascot approaches her with a gift. When the costume comes off, it is Ziyak. Her heart fills with warmth. In the days that follow, while waiting for results, Seiji's group gathers to eat spicy rice cakes. Seiji excuses herself, saying she needs to help her mother, and Ziyak claims he has errands at home. Suspicious, the group follows them and discovers Seiji and Ziyak secretly meeting. They are stunned. Later, Seiji and Ziyak return to the beach where they first met. Seiji asks why he jumped into the sea that day. Ziyak admits that he was overwhelmed by misery and had been thinking about what might happen if he let the waves take him. But through the water, he saw her swimming toward him, and her presence pulled him back to life. He slowly hands her the name tag he kept all this time, explaining that he held onto it as a reminder of the person who saved him. Holding her hand, he looks into her eyes and tells her that he loves her. When they return home, neither wants to let go. Finally, Seiji leans in and places a shy, gentle kiss on his lips. Her cheeks burn, but her heart feels peaceful. Back at home, Ziak's mother tells him that she needs to go to Seoul on Sunday to pick up a new hairdryer. He offers to go with her, but she tells him to stay behind and look after the shop. The next day, Seiji has a family picnic. Before leaving, she calls Ziak and repeatedly reminds him about Sunday, the day of their promised date. She then calls her group of friends and asks them to help prepare everything for her confession to Ziak at the beach. When Sunday arrives, the group is busy decorating the location, but Seiji and Ziak arrive early. Seeing this, the friends quickly hide. Seiji signals for them to stop, but they misunderstand. At that moment, Ziak receives a message. His face darkens. His mother has been hospitalized. Apologizing to Seiji, Ziak rushes to Seoul. At the hospital, he finds his mother unconscious in a coma, with his father standing coldly beside her. His father claims she fell down the stairs, then blames her for ruining Ziak's studies and failing as a mother. Ziak clenches his fists, certain his father is lying and convinced his mother was pushed. His father ignores his anger and orders him to go home. Days pass and no one can reach Ziak. When Seiji and her friends visit his house, they find the shop shuttered with a "for rent" sign. Remembering that his father works at Seoul National University Hospital, Seiji rushes there. At the hospital, she asks for patient Jungmi and overhears a devastating conversation. Ziak's father coldly tells his wife and son that they are leaving for America immediately. If they return home again, they will never escape his control. Tears stream down their faces as they listen helplessly. That night, Seiji uses a public phone to call Ziak. When he answers, she forces herself to say she has only ever seen him as a friend and that they do not need to see each other again. She lies not because she wants to, but because she understands the impossible situation he faces. That night, Seiji cries endlessly. Days later, the graduation ceremony arrives. Seiji graduates with honors, stunning her homeroom teacher. Yet her heart remains heavy. Later, she goes to the warehouse and finds a notebook Ziak left behind titled Love Chronicle. Inside are photographs of Seiji and their friends, each image filled with notes describing her expressions. She realizes he loved her not because she was perfect, but simply because she was Seiji. Overwhelmed, she wanders the beach and texts Ziak that she cannot meet because she is unwell. To her surprise, he replies that she looks fine to him. Her phone rings, and she hears his voice behind her. Turning around, she sees Ziak standing on the sand. She runs to him, apologizing and confessing the truth. Ziak understands. He pulls out a jar filled with paper beads, each representing a memory of her. Their friends emerge from hiding, cheering. There is no grand confession. What binds them is something far greater. Their love story ends there, proving that true love does not require changing who you are, only the courage to be yourself. And that brings this beautiful story to an end. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this heartfelt journey of love, growth, and second chances, make sure to subscribe to Plot Core for more movie recaps every week.